In one place I mentioned, according to Tarka or Nyaya Vaisheshika philosophy, Ushnasparshavat Tejaha, Sheetasparshavatya Apaha. That which has cold, the water has got a cold touch, a cool touch, and fire has got Ushnasparsha. What is this nonsense? After the advent of science, you say 0 degrees and 0 degrees to 100 degrees, so many things you have, so standard of measurement you have given. According to me, Eastern science is totally different. Whatever science affects me, that is real science. Because from my point of view, I want to see everything. So when I touch the water, it's cool to my hand. So I call it, it is Sheetasparsha. When I put my hand in the fire, it has got Ushnasparsha. So from my point of view, my body is the lab. So this lab says this is the thing. Anybody who touches water, that temperature will be lower than the temperature of his body. So from that point of view, I say Sheetasparshavatyaha apaha, etc. So in this way, everything is looked into from the point of view of subject rather than the object. But object is not totally denied and it is not disregarded. On the other hand, we say this jnana triputi should be there. Knower, known and the knowledge. So known is also very important and knower is also very important. How to know, that is also important. That's called pramana. I will not go into those details. So from this point of view, I think Ramanuja has got a wonderful contribution, particularly to the field of science also. And if anybody wants to study consciousness, I think they have to go through the philosophy of Ramanuja, where Ramanuja has presented the attributive consciousness as dharma bhuta jnana, which can also be seen in the form of the objects, because that dharma bhuta jnana takes that particular shape.
But in your talk, you are interchangeably using the word mind and the consciousness as if they are one and the same.
I agree with you completely, because
that can create a problem.
This manas is the product of prakriti according to Vishishtadvaita philosophy. It is not this. It is not consciousness or something. It is the vehicle of consciousness, nothing more than that. So from that point of view, I say manas is not the product of consciousness or is not consciousness. On the other hand, manas is an internal sense organ, antarindriya it is called, from the view of Sankhya philosophy also.
Second related question. This dharma bhuta jnana is often equated with buddhi, but buddhi also is taken to be jada tattva. Then how do we reconcile?
Dharma bhuta jnana is not called buddhi. Dharma bhuta jnana is totally different. Prakriter mahan tatohankaras tasmat ganascha shodakshakaha. Buddhi is mahat tattva, not dharma bhuta jnana. They are totally different. Yes?
Sir, in the context of consciousness, you mentioned about dharma bhuta jnana, but it does not seem to be uniform for everybody, and it varies. What factors influence for variation?
Excuse me, I couldn't understand your.
Dharma bhuta jnana is not uniform for everybody, and what are the factors which influence this difference?
Okay, my point of view is, it need not be accepted by everybody. But Ramanuja says there is a necessity to accept dharma bhuta jnana. Without dharma bhuta jnana, you cannot manage. Even in Advaita, what has happened, if you go into the Pratyaksha, they say Vrityavachinnam Chaitanyam, Antahkaranavachinnam Chaitanyam, etc. And this Chaitanya, which is having a limiting adjunct, namely Vritti or Antahkarana, etc., they mention like that. So these three things, namely Jnana Triputi, namely Jnata, Jnaya and Jnana, can never be neglected or can never be avoided in any system of philosophy. So what Ramanuja has accepted is acceptable to others also. But Advaitins, what they say is, it is Antahkaranavachinna Chaitanya, Vishayavachinna Chaitanya and Vrityavachinna Chaitanya. When these three things actually merge, then there is Pratyaksha, that's what they say. On the other hand, Ramanuja says Dharma Bhuta Jnana goes out through the manas and then also sense organs and ultimately reaches that particular object. It takes that particular shape or configuration or samsthana. Then you feel that you are experiencing such and such an object directly. Yes?
What is Ramanuja's views of consciousness during Swapnavastha?
Swapnavastha, the consciousness, Dharma Bhuta Jnana functions. There is no problem. Yes, definitely Dharma Bhuta Jnana functions. And this Pratyak Jnana is also, the Swarupa Jnana will definitely function all the times. That's why Shankaracharya mentioned a very interesting statement. Nakaschit evam pratyeti naham asmiti. Have you ever experienced that you are not there? As long as you are alive. Afterwards what happens we don't know. Nakaschit evam pratyeti naham asmiti. So I consciousness will be there forever. But in the case of the Dharma Bhuta Jnana, what happens? During the time of Swapnavastha, you are asking dream state, I think. Dream state, definitely it will function. But in the deep sleep state, Dharma Bhuta Jnana doesn't function because Manas will be entering into an nadi called Puritat.
It's very, very interesting paper. I just want you, okay. Traditionally, there are at least 5 different theories of mind-body relations in the Western philosophy. First, you have got the physicalism, which denies the existence of consciousness and things like that. Then you have idealism, which denies the existence of physicalism. Then you have got a parallelism, mind and body go parallel to each other. Then you have got what is called what you may call two description theories. That is to say, the language of physicalism is and the language of the, you can describe the same thing either in physical terms or this one.
Yes.
Okay? And then there is the what we may call pre-established harmony of Leibniz, you know. Everything is so pre-established. When I think one way, the body will react that way is already pre-established, in other words, given in the nature of the things. Okay. And so on, you can think about that one. Can you give me one sentence or one description, something like a parallelism, this one, that one, and so on, Ramanuja's concept of the relationship between mind and body? You understand what I mean? Just like we have got pre-established theories of harmony, two description theories of harmony, and so on.
It is nothing but Sharira Shariri Bhava. Sharira Shariri Bhava is the concept, is the one word. So, I have got the soul, which is called Shariri, and my body is the Sharira. So, they are inseparably associated. And very interesting thing is, particularly Madhvas very sharply react to this Sharira Shariri Bhava, and they say, if you accept, further Ramanuja accepts that the Jivatma is also the Sharira of the Supreme Being. So if you accept this Jivatma as the Sharira, then what happens? Supreme Being is also susceptible to all miseries, sufferings, etc., etc., as the body, when the body suffers. And my soul also suffers. Similarly, when I suffer, Supreme Being should also suffer. Then Ramanuja has beautifully mentioned that Sharira Shariri Bhava in a particular way. He says, Yasya Chetanasya Yad Dravyam Sarvatmana Niyantum Dharayitancha Shakyam Tat Shesha Bhutancha Tattasya Shariram. This is a very beautiful concept according to me. Yasya Chetanasya Yad Dravyam. It may be a Chetana or it may be a Chetana, it doesn't very much matter. It should be Sarvatmana Niyantum Dharayitancha Shakyam. It could be completely controlled and it should be completely sustained, and it is also subservient to that Chetana. Such a thing is called Sharira. This is the concept given by Ramanuja. Thank you. One more question.
Can I think? No, can.
If the chairman allows it, I'll.
The Swarupa of the soul as in Advaita. Like sun is light, that is Advaita model. Sun and light are identical. Consciousness, that is knowledge, Chit Swarupa. Whereas if we say sun has light, substance attribute relation, soul has consciousness. And with regard to this question that was asked about knowledge and emotions, all of them are chittavrittis, mental modes. But knowledge is what is got through a pramana, pramakaranam pramanam. Whereas emotions come from ragadvesha, which are the offshoots or effects of avidya, and no system in Indian philosophy accepts ragadvesha as a pramana. So when we say that Sankhya is rational or logical, because knowledge derived from or got through a pramana is knowledge, whereas emotions, they are not knowledge.
Thank you very much.
And indeterminate perception, sensation, that is nirvikalpaka pratyaksha, where we know the object, we get the data for input, and then the mind works on it, forms a judgment in savikalpaka, that is interpretation. Thank you, ma'am.
I think Ramanuja has given a different type of interpretation with regard to Savikalpaka also. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank our two speakers who've given us a lot to think about. And I'd like to thank Professor Mishra for giving me this opportunity to hear two very brilliant lectures. Thank you, sir.
Friends, before we go on to the next session, I would like to thank Dr. Nandita Krishna, Professor Huben, and Professor Tatacharya for being here with us and taking part in this conference and presenting nice papers, the paper presenters, and Madam conducting this session so well. And before we go on to the next session, I would like to have a small felicitation for our guests. May I now request Professor Vasudha Narayanan to come over and present a shawl, two photographs, pictures of Ramanuja and different kshetras. 1 minute, Professor Tatacharya, please. We will have they were childhood friends, I came to know. So, madam, this is one. And get one, that calendar also. Oh, calendar is there. Calendar there. Bring a calendar. Now, sew it properly. Yes, madam will sew it. Yeah. Madam, sew inside pages also. And now we will call upon Dr. Huben, please come over there, and Dr. Vasudha Narayanan will honor you with his shawl and yeah, I know. Madam was telling the same thing, yes. And Dr. Huben, for all of you, is a very serious student of grammar, Vedanta, and Mimamsa. His works on Karmakanda are very famous. Very recently has brought out a book on Vaidika Sakhas. So that type of a scholar, please bless us, madam, that he will do better in his career and life, contributing more than what he has done to Indian tradition. Now we have the honor to invite Professor Lakshmi Tatacharya, one of the legendary scholars of our time, whose contribution cannot be spoken in a, it needs a conference, full conference to talk about his contribution. And now I would like to request Madam to honor him. That, you get that? For everybody you give, no? To him you didn't give, I think you forgot. This one. Sir, this is for you, sir. This is a new. Then you can also take, you go there and take, so that picture will be there. Please come. Please come, 1 minute, madam. Now I request Professor Pappu to come over to chair this session. Friends, Professor Pappu came to this conference with the shortest notice. I think he must have purchased his ticket on the airport itself, and he must have spent a fortune in buying the ticket. But however, Professor Pappu is known to the world as a person who has worked on Vedanta and encouraged Vedanta all around. And it is he, I would like to tell all of you here, who has conducted 25 World Vedanta conferences. 25 times he has conducted. And many volumes have come out. He has invited many scholars from east and west and very successfully conducted. Single-handedly he has conducted. And he has worked as the professor of philosophy and now professor emeritus at the Miami University, Oxford, Ohio. He is a very well-known scholar in Vedanta, and his large number of publications include Indian Philosophy Past and Future, Perspectives of Vedanta, essays in honor of Professor P.T. Raju.